Get pasta YouTube, how's it going everybody? Got for you guys today a pretty fun and very close UU battle that I had against Seth. I forgot his Twitter link and I'm not sure if he uploads or not, but whenever you see this man, I'll leave a comment down below. I'll make sure to add your Twitter link down in the description as well as your channel link. And before I continue, I just want to say right now, if you guys did not see the video that was uploaded before this, about an hour before this, could you please take the time to go watch that? It's just me thanking everybody who made a response video to about what I wanted to talk about my channel, so make sure to go check that out if you have not already. Also, this was a UU battle back before Thunderous was banned from UU again, because it was banned, then it came back and just got recently banned again. And much like before, guys, actually I think we're at that point where we can start racing the like goal. So I think from now on, let's try to aim for 450 likes. I feel 450 is a good like increase. It's not too much, like 100, but it's not like a little, like 20 or something. So I think if we can get this video up to 450 likes, I will definitely make sure to upload another video for you guys tomorrow, and if I can, I'll even upload two. Now, looking at team preview going into this battle, the biggest threats I saw on Seth's team were going to be the Cofagrigus and the Garvantula just because it can easily get up, sticky web, and then I'm going to be forced to defog it away. Then Cofagrigus, if it turns out to be the old 5th gen set with a Trick Room and Nasty Plot and I lose my Florges, it'll definitely be a big problem. So he's going to be leading off with the Garvantula, and I did actually predict that because a lot of Garvantulas are leads nowadays, and I'm going to go straight for the Moonblast as he gets up a sticky web. He then switches directly into his Crocodile, which I found to be very, very ballsy and just very questionable, because I could have easily gone for another Moonblast. So if he did predict me to go for the Wish, then that was a crazy good play on his part, because now I'm in a situation where I have to choose something on my team to get knocked off, and I don't want to risk him going for the Earthquake. So I switch into my Shaman, which even though he does knock off my leftovers, not my leftovers, but my Life Orb, it isn't going to be too big of a deal because Shaman is still going to be hitting decently hard. So I decided to go for the Earth Power, thinking that he would bring in that Garvantula, thinking I would go for the Seed Filler, but no, he switches into his Snorlax, and Earth Power does practically nothing at all. And then seeing that he didn't have leftovers, I was thinking that he is going to be Assault Vest as opposed to leftovers. So he goes straight for the Body Slam. Thankfully, he does not paralyze my Mew, as I'm going to be able to get rid of the Sticky Web. Now, all I have to do is try to prevent that Garvantula from getting him up again as he goes for the Crunch. Gets off a decent amount of damage on my Mew, but because I am very physically defensive, it's not going to be doing too much, but I don't want to take another Crunch, so I switch into my Cobalion, hoping that he would go for another Crunch and I could get my Justified boost and then go for an Iron Head and get off damage on whatever he brought in. But he ends up switching directly into his Garvantula. Now, it is a speed tie between max speed Cobalion and max speed Garvantula. Unfortunately, he does end up winning that speed tie, as he's going to volt switch into the Cofagrigus on my close combat. And obviously, I don't want to stay in and take a possible Will-O-Wisp, and just hoping that he wouldn't go for a Nasty Plot or anything along those lines, I switch into my Shaman. And he does turn out to have Will-O-Wisp, which means this Cofagrigus is not going to be a problem whatsoever, because I know that it's not a sweeper variant. So I'm in a position where I can honestly just safely go for the Sea Flare, because I am expecting him to want to switch right into the Snorlax, so I want to get off as much damage as I can on that. As I switch into my Mew, expecting him just to go for the safe Body Slam, he does go for it. Unfortunately for me though, not only does he crit me, but he gets the full paralysis. And this was actually a little bit frustrating, just because I really wanted to keep my Mew around for this battle, because I knew it would really come in handy. But I decided just to go for the knockoff. That way, if he does want to keep switching in his Snorlax on my Shaman, eventually I will knock it out a whole lot easier than I would have been able to. Plus, I didn't want to go for the Roost, then risk me possibly getting paralyzed the following turn and him knocking me out with Crunch, or me getting paralyzed 2 turns in a row and him knocking me out with Crunch. So after knockoffing, I'm just going to go for the safe Waterfall. I really wanted to go for the Crunch this turn, but I thought that was a little bit too risky, because if he did stay in with Snorlax, I didn't want to risk my Waterfall not knocking him out. But he does make the safe and smart play, switches into his Cofagrigus, and I know that a Crunch will not be able to knock him out, but because Cofagrigus is such a bulky monster and the one Pokemon stopping my Cobalion, I'm actually going to go for the Crunch just to get off enough damage to the point where I know that an Iron Head coming from my Cobalion will be able to knock it out. So he does end up going for the Will-O-Wisp, which is fine by me, just because I knew at this point Sharpedo really wasn't going to be doing entirely too much in this battle. As he switches into the Crocodile, predicting me to go for another crunch. I was honestly in a situation where I didn't have to switch up my moves and predict anything. I could have just gone for the safe crunch and still been in a perfect position, as I'm just going to fodder off my Sharpedo to this Crocodile to see what he wants to lock himself into. It turns out to be Stone Edge. As I bring in my Cobalion, he misses 2 Stone Edges in a row, but then he gets a crit on the 3rd one, so it's kind of like he only missed 1 Stone Edge, as I'm able to knock him out with 3 Iron Heads. And he's gonna bring in the Kingdra. I'm guessing he thought that I was locked some way, like maybe choice banded, but no, I am actually a Lumberry Cobalion, as I'm gonna be able to get off a huge amount of damage on the Kingdra. And he actually went for the Focus Energy, thinking that I was possibly locked into my Iron Head, but that is not the case, as he brings in the Cofagrigus. Again, much like before, I am in a situation where I don't have to predict. I can make the safe play, because even if he wants to bring in the Cofagrigus, as I said, I have the Lumberry, which means if I don't get the flinch right here and he does burn me with the Will-O-Wisp, it's gonna get nullified because of my Lumberry. I couldn't think of the word to say there. It's gonna go away basically because of my Lumberry, and the Cofagrigus is down to the point where another Iron Head will easily be able to knock it out, which is really great, because Cofagrigus would have been a giant pain in my side to deal with. As he brings in the Galvantula, I was really hoping I would win the speed tie here so I could possibly knock out the Galvantula. Unfortunately, he gets lucky again and wins the speed tie, and he's going to be able to knock me out, as he ends up volt switching into his Snorlax, which, I mean, I have Shaman, so what I'm going to do is just try to get off as much damage as I can to then be able to revenge kill it. So I go for the Seed Flare, get off a respectable amount of damage, and I even get the special defense drop, as he actually ends up going for the Crunch. Now, I found it very odd that he went for Crunch. I really don't know why he did that, because he could have gone for Body Slam, possibly even paralyzed me, but I guess I still would have knocked him out this turn. But if he did go for the Body Slam, then he would have been able to knock me out this turn with the Bug Buzz, because as you're about to see, I'm actually going to live on 1 HP. But in the long run of the battle, the fact that I went for Crunch over Body Slam really isn't that big of a deal, just because I could have easily revenge killed this Galvantula, and I mean, he's about to knock out my Shaman this turn with the Bullet Punch anyways, so it isn't, as I said, too big of a deal. And I'm going to switch directly into my Thundurus, just because I was really hoping a Thunderbolt would be able to knock him out, because I don't want my Florges to possibly get knocked out by Psycho Cut. So I'm able to live the Ice Punch, which is awesome. Unfortunately, because he does have the Bullet Punch, even though I am a bulky Thundurus, I'm not going to live that hit. And at this point, my last Pokemon is my Florges, which means if he knocks me out with the Psycho Cut, the battle is over. But he actually ends up going for the Bullet Punch, and even after the crit, I'm able to live, in return, knock him out with the Moonblast. At this point, his last Pokemon is the Kingdra, which could possibly knock me out if he turns out to carry Flash Cannon, just because I have seen that on Kingdra recently, although I don't know how much damage it does to Florges. So this is the moment of truth. He does turn out to have Flash Cannon, but I'm going to be able to live on 19 HP, in return, knock him out with the Moonblast, and that is going to be the very, very narrow 1-0 victory in my favor. So yeah, that was a really fun battle. I actually got really scared there near the end, because I thought Medicham was gonna just finish off my Thundurus and my Florges, but I'm guessing he didn't want to risk Psycho Cut not knocking me out, because it was neutral, then Bullet Punch is stabbed. Although I think after stab, Psycho Cut is actually stronger than the Bullet Punch was, but either way, that misplay on his part allowed me to win the battle. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. As I said, if we can get this video up to 450 likes, I will definitely make sure to upload another video for you guys tomorrow, maybe even 2 if I can. And if you missed any of my previous 2 uploads, they're playing on your screen right now, so make sure to go check them out. They should have annotations on them. And with that, guys, I will see you all soon. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and I am out of here. Later, buddy.